Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7, and I'm back with another track guide for this week's daily race C at Interlagos in Group 4 with racing medium tyres. Now for this guide we are using the McLaren, as you can see there on screen. Now one thing you do need to know with this car is that it is a short shifting car, so you're not going to rev this car out, because if you do rev it out you lose pace. So that means about 50% shift, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less depending on the corner. But yeah, hopefully when you're watching this guide you'll pick up on that, and it will make you faster, considerably faster. So yeah, make sure you short shift in the McLaren. And if you do find this video helpful, if it helps you go faster, feel free to give it a little like. It really helps the algorithm, helps me out on the channel. And feel free to subscribe. We do these videos every week, along with the 2 million credit guide for the Thursday time trial, and hopefully we can help you get as many of them 2 millions as possible. So let's start this lap. Let's try and get you as fast as possible on this track. You can see straight away with the short shift in there around about the 50% mark, so pretty much right in the middle. And we're going to go into turn 1, and we're going to be looking for the 50 board into turn 1, but we're going to brake just short of that 50 board. You can see the braking input going in there, just shy of the 50 board. Now we're going to brake in a straight line using the full width of the track, and then we're going to start trail braking into the corner and rotating. So down into third gear, we're going to go down to second gear, let that trail braking take place, and now get the left hand tyre up onto the curb. You can see using a lot of the curb on the left. Now from here you're going to rotate it in and really attack the curb. What you want to do is get your left hand tyre to stay on the curb slightly, though. You can see there in front, as long as your left hand tyre is on the curb, your right hand tyre can be all the way over to the right and you will not get a track limit penalty. Now on the exit you can go all the way over the white line. The curbs are the track limits on that section of track, so you're not going to get a penalty at all there for doing that. And now we're going to go all the way up this straight, short shifting again, you see, not revving out, because if you rev it out you're going to go slower on this straight. Now we're going to look for the 100 board on the right side. We're going to go past that 100 board and brake just before the start of the grey tarmac on the right hand side there. You can see the braking inputs going in now, and this corner is a tricky one. You've got to go down into third gear. Now what you want to do is get this car rotating in to that curb on the left. Your left hand tyre needs to clip the curb, and then you want to get on the throttle as early as possible. Look how early we're on the throttle, and aggressive, not lifting, keeping it planted. Early upshift to fourth gear as you get up to the curb on the right, and now keep the car to the left hand side as we work our way up the hill now into this fast right hand corner. We're going to look for the 50 board on the left hand side, braking just shy of that 50 board. You can see the braking inputs going in here now, and this corner is all about carrying the speed through the corner. So staying in fourth gear, down to fourth gear, and we're going to rotate this in with a bit of trail braking. You'll see that trail braking kicking in now, and then throttle will start going in once we're confident. But you're going to keep your eye on that throttle, because we're going to play with the throttle all the way through the corner until we're 100% confident we can take the speed through the corner. You can see the car in front keeping that right hand tyre on the curb. Very important to get that curb hit with the apex, because that will enable you to carry the speed all the way through. As soon as your car is in a straight line, pretty much the moment it's in a straight line, you're going to get on the brakes and start trail braking and rotating it into this curb, because you're going to take a lot of curb off this corner. Look at this, right hand tyre all the way to the outside of the curb, and actually it's going to go onto the grass slightly there in front. You can see you can take a lot of track limit off there. So basically again, the curb is the limits for that corner. Now we're going to brake just shy of the start of the curb. Make sure you're braking before the start of that curb, and again trail braking down into second gear. Keep the left hand tyre up on that curb. Such an important thing to do there. You want to use the curb to rotate the car. That will rotate it and enable you to get on the throttle earlier as we go up this hill into this right hand corner. Now we're going to look for the green Astro on the left hand side. You can see it there just before the end of the Astro onto the brakes. Now again, you want to try and use the full width of the track as you turn in here, so you can see the car in front nearly onto the white line on the left. That will give you a wider angle into the acceleration phase, so you can see squaring the car off now, down to second gear, up onto the curb, and now you can get on that throttle earlier, because you're going to get the car squared off and you're going to take more speed out the exit. So from here we're going to try and get the car over to the right hand side, because we want to rotate it wide to get it carrying the speed through this left hand corner. So we're going to flick the car to the right, then back to the left, and then you're going to keep an eye on that throttle, because we're going to give it a little lift, the tiniest little lift off there, because I wasn't 100% confident we were going to make the corner. So if you feel like the car's going to understeer, get that little lift in there just to ensure you don't ruin your lap at the end on this corner. Now we're going to brake pretty much halfway in between the end of the curb and the 50 board. You've got to imagine a 50 waypoint there, like 50% marker there just in between, and we're going to brake dead on that. And you can see for this final corner, it's very, very important to carry the speed up the hill. So third gear, trail braking it into the corner. So again, left hand tyre is going to get up onto this curb. So see, left hand tyre up onto the curb and then onto the throttle. keep an eye on that throttle before you're on the apex, because that's going to enable us to carry the speed and help rotate the car through the corner. Now, the McLaren is very good through there because it's obviously short shifting and it's got a lot of torque through the corner, so it rotates really nice. Now we're going to use the 50% shifting all the way up to the finishing line, keeping the car to the left hand side of the track, obviously for the shortest distance to the finishing line. You'll notice how the Ghost is doing it in front. Keep the car to the left, straighten it up, and yeah, it won't gain you a massive amount, but every little bit helps. And we go over the line for a 1:36.934, a pretty solid lap. You can see we only did this before the race. We didn't do a proper time trial session where we spend like half an hour. It was just done in the race sessions in between, so not a bad lap for that. So let's watch the lap again from the chase camera. You can see again using that full width of track, using the curbs. Just look how much curb you can get away with on this track. It is actually crazy how much curbs. I think basically the curbs are more of the limits than the white line, except for on a couple of corners where you can pick up a penalty through running ever so slightly wide. So you just got to be cautious of some of them, particularly this corner here. So when you get it in here, you've got to get it on the power and really rotate it. So if you go over the curb there slightly, you can actually pick up a 1 second penalty, which can lose you a massive amount of time where the penalty zone is in the race, that is. So now again, 50 board on the left hand side, using that full width. You see the left hand tyre up onto the white line, making sure you've got as much angle into the corner as possible, and then again using the full width of the curb on the exit there. You can see you can actually go all the way over the curb before you get on the brakes, and again up onto the curb here. That helps rotate the car as you put the power down, and then it'll help you manage to take more speed up this hill into this very tight corner. You can see again using that width, squaring it off, then onto the throttle, and then that little flick from the right to the left just to rotate it in here, and then a tiny little lift off that throttle really just helps rotate it there if you feel you need to do it. You can do it without the lift, but sometimes you just need to do that to ensure you don't understeer wide. Final corner, very important corner. Use the curb on the outside, carry as much speed as you can from that corner, because a bad exit versus a good exit can be the difference between 3 temps, 4 temps. By the time you get to the finishing line, it's actually crazy how much time that can gain you by nailing that corner. But a pretty solid lap considering we did that just before the race started, and you know, it wasn't a proper qualifying session. We weren't time trialing for like half an hour. Not bad at all, but hopefully it'll help you out. Let me know in the comment section if it has. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. I'll see you all again for more videos. Thanks again for watching, everyone.